All right, people, how's it going? We had another successful game on defense against the Cardinals last week, so with that, the coverage numbers are going to be pretty good. Kyler did not get up to a whole lot against the Seahawks, so most of these guys are going to feel pretty good about their coverage box score. Let's go over it, see if there are any particular standouts, see if there are any maybe weaknesses. Just try to sort through all of it and get to the actual fact of it. So, Jordan Brooks, we're going to start with him as we often do, which is fitting because he's one of the more interesting cover guys on this team. And I made a little bit of a personal adjustment here on I think it was the first drive of the game for the Cardinals. They hit D-Hop for a 22-yard touchdown. Mafe got dinged with being in coverage on the touchdown, but after having a look at the play, after having a look at some people talking about the play, after thinking about what was going on that play, looking at it from a more, all 22 type view, it seems pretty clear to me that Jordan Brooks was at fault there. Seems to me that Jordan Brooks was the one who didn't pass off properly and led to Hopkins being wide open, with Mafe nominally being the closest defender to him. But it's not like any sane person would draw up a defense where Mafe's trying to cover D-Hop one-on-one, right? So it's a little questionable. I'm not saying it's definitely right. I gave the 22-yard touchdown to D-Hop to Brooks, and I know that that's a little bit questionable, maybe. But after looking at the play, I just strongly believe that touchdown was on him. He made the mistake. And I want to try to be accurate here when I can. I know I can't always do adjustments for this kind of stuff, but if I notice it, I'm going to try to do it. So, Brooks didn't play that bad overall. Obviously, giving up a 22-yard touchdown is not what you want to do. But other than that, it was mostly pretty clean. I think if you take that play out, he allowed like 30, 35 yards in coverage. Not bad. Especially against this Cardinals team that throws everything short, or almost everything short. He's now actually on pace to give up less than 1,000 yards in coverage this year, which is an improvement for him. Still not good, obviously, but he'll never be good in coverage. He makes up for it elsewhere, or at least he should. And most of the time, he does an okay job of that. Lately, he's been doing all right. So, we all know what the score is here, right? We all know that Jordan Brooks is not good in coverage, but been a little better lately. I think the team has done a little bit of a better job keeping him out of terrible situations where he can give up like 150 receiving yards in a game. But regardless, 446 yards given up. Cody Barton, he got targeted twice and gave up 2 completions, but let's check the edit history to be sure here. 8 yards total. So you got targeted twice and you gave up an average of 4 yards per target. That's pretty good. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. His QB rating allowed went down a few points because of that. So, Barton not really having a good year in coverage. This was supposed to be his strength as a player, right? Like, I remember back in his rookie year, that was the thing that stood out to me about Barton when he got on the field. He could cover. Well, I guess he's better than Brooks, right? Yeah. I don't believe any of the other linebackers got targeted. Taylor didn't play. Nwosu didn't get targeted. Mafe got targeted once, but I gave that to Brooks because I felt like it was his fault. So nothing there. Nothing there for Irvin. And there was nothing for Onujiogu as well. He did not get targeted in coverage once. So that's the linebackers. Let's move to the cornerbacks here. Sidney Jones, Artie Burns. Well, Sidney Jones is gone. Artie Burns barely plays or doesn't play at all sometimes. So let's go right to the cornerbacks here. Tariq Woolen. So he got targeted 3 times, gave up 2 completions for a grand total of 4 yards, according to PFR. 4 yards. Unfortunately, one of those completions was a touchdown. I think the other completion was actually a 2-yard loss. So I guess when you think about it, giving up a completion and then getting a tackle for a 2-yard loss is better than an incomplete pass, right? Like it is. I think it is. So, yeah, we'll call that a feather in his cap. The touchdown he gave up to Zach Ertz, I mean, it's a touchdown given up, but I don't think he did anything terribly wrong. It was inside the 10-yard line. Zach Ertz He's tough to deal with in the red zone. You're going to give up stuff to him, so whatever. But yeah, we are now more than halfway through the season, and Woolen is on pace to give up less than 500 yards in a season where he's playing almost every snap. Obviously, the world is starting to forget about Woolen because he's not getting interceptions lately, but still playing really well, still playing great football, and we've got something special still. Michael Jackson continues to get targeted a good amount. It seems like teams are learning to stay away from Woolen. Got targeted 8 times, gave up 5 completions, but nothing big, 15 total yards. So that's winning football. You get targeted 8 times and you give up 15 yards. It's kind of nice playing the Cardinals, isn't it? They throw a lot of stuff around the line of scrimmage. They don't push the ball down the field a lot. A lot of stuff is just going to be easy to make a play. If you make the tackle, it'll be like a couple yards. Kind of nice, right? And you got to say, this Seahawks defense has kind of figured out that Cardinals offense about as well as you can. So Michael Jackson down below 70 QBR allowed, QB rating against. Really good corner tandem we have here. The only guy who really got picked on in that Cardinals game is Coby Bryant. He did give up some stuff. He got targeted a good, healthy amount, 11 times, and he gave up 9 completions. And those 9 completions went for about 90 yards. So he was the one guy that the Cardinals felt like they could go at a little bit, and they did. And Coby, look, he got robbed of an interception by the Diggs penalty, got robbed of a forced fumble by a stupid referee who doesn't know how football works, I guess. I don't know. But it was a learning experience for him. We'll call it a learning experience. And actually, Coby Bryant now leads the team in coverage yards allowed by a little bit over Brooks. So maybe Brooks can feel a little bit better about that. I don't know. I don't think these guys are keeping track of that. But it makes a little more sense when your cornerback is giving up more yards in coverage than a linebacker, right? Like, that makes a little more sense. So Coby's still doing his thing, still playing out of position. It's all good. But he got beat up a little bit. And Ryan Neal playing safety, he got targeted, I believe it was twice, and he gave up 1 completion for, 13 yards. I'm sorry, no yards. Yeah, that was from last week. Thought it was that. So, yeah, again, when you play these Cardinals, not a heck of a lot going on in terms of stuff down the field. You make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, you're good. So, yeah, Ryan Neal still playing really good football. QB rating against, very solid, below 77, and winning football. Safeties, Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs got targeted, I believe, twice, and he gave up 1 completion, but it didn't go anywhere. It was 1 yard. One yard completion on Diggs. Now, he did have the illegal contact penalty that took the interception for Coby off the board, but I see a lot of negativity around Quandre Diggs right now, so I just want people to look at the stat line he has on the board right now. 16 targets, 10 completions allowed, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown allowed in coverage. For a defense that, by the way, was absolutely atrocious for about 5 games, and then really, really good for the last 4. Like, this is not a guy who's playing bad. This is a guy who's playing solid. He's just not making big plays. So, for those of you out there who are like, oh, we got to get out of this Quandre contract, we got to move on from this Quandre contract, we got to get him out of here. No. And Josh Jones did not get targeted, so his stat line stays the same. And that's all there is to say. And at the end of the day, all there is to say is that other than Coby Bryant, everybody held up. Everybody did their job, and it was a complete game, really. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks.